This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Hey, welcome to the Weekday Comics. I'm Dave Primiano.
And I'm Dan D'Aprile, and we're here to shoot the shit and talk the news.
Oh,
hey,
does it always drop out that abruptly?
If so, then all right. Hey, we're back. Hi. Oh, you're back. I'm sitting in my bedroom. What's up?
Touching yourself. What? Anyway, that's what I'm doing on Neil's couch.
I could barely get out of bed after I was humbled and thinking of quitting comedy after watching the Joe Rogan comedy special. So it's just been hard to continue on as a comedian, knowing this is out there. I'll say an inspiration because I want to work in Austin one day.
Did you actually watch it?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't. I heard enough.
He's playing the hits. You've seen Joe Rogan. If you don't want to watch it, I will say this. My girlfriend doesn't watch a lot of comedy, and she hates Joe Rogan, so it was very fun watching it with her. It was fun seeing somebody that doesn't digest a whole lot of comedy deal with what you could generously call not a whole lot of comedy. So,
all right, Austin.
That's how I would describe it.
Open your doors to us, Austin.
Hello. Thank you. Put me on Kill Tony.
Sang the praises of your king.
All I can say is it's an inspiration. Open micers should watch it. They would realize that it's not as hard as they probably think it is.
Gotcha. So let's explain why you're where you are and where I am where I am. Well, we don't need to explain why I'm here. I had nowhere else to be.
Made it in. I
didn't leave. I didn't leave after last week. I had nowhere to be, so I just sat on Neil's stoop until next Tuesday at 8:00 rolled around and walked back in.
Must have been a lonely week for you.
I
didn't come here. Yeah, I'm not here because I'm not going into the city while the vice president, maybe soon to be president, is there. Also, I'm not legally allowed as a credible threat. So, I don't know. So I am sitting at home today, not braving the city. So you get me in my weird cat mask.
So so what do you think? I forgot the guy's name already. The VP pick.
Oh, Tim Walz. He's all right.
I was about to say Holes. All right. HOLZ.
Tim Holes. That would be a good vice president. Tim Holes.
Yeah.
Tim Walz, he's okay. Yeah, I don't know much about him. He's the governor of Minnesota. He did make a couch joke at JD Vance's expense during this speech, which was really funny. He said I'll debate JD Vance unless he'd rather sit at home on the couch or something like that. Crowd went wild. I said that was a good one.
Yeah.
He did make a mistake though. I did see this at the speech. His first misstep as a politician in Philly, he said something like, Shapiro, our Governor Shapiro, is like a great guy to go to Jersey and catch a Bruce Springsteen concert with. And the crowd was like, "Burr."
Oh, because you're not supposed to mention. I couldn't, because I would have booed the Bruce Springsteen part.
I think Jersey got booed. Sorry.
Yeah, but he looks. I said you had to get a straight white guy with a good head of hair. He doesn't have a great head of hair, but he does seem like a jovial fat guy. I didn't anticipate. I didn't even consider. I don't consider fat people when I'm creating fantasy people in my head.
There's enough of them in the real world. You don't need them in your fantasy. I understand. That. That's okay, because when I fantasize about myself, I get rid of all the fat people. So I look great. I look great in my own fantasy.
One to rule them all.
No, I agree. Chubby, affable guys. This is a renaissance. We're coming back. Tim Walz is going to lead the way.
Yeah, I guess. I don't care. I'm still not voting, but
that's good though. Anybody that routinely watches the podcast knows that it's a good thing that you're not voting.
I guess.
I'm not sure if I can openly offer to bribe people for their votes, but after this is done recording, I'm going to try to bribe you to vote. So,
you want me to write you in?
Yeah, exactly. I think I want to finally make my push. I feel snubbed by the DNC. I feel like they overlooked me in the vice presidential committee. I feel like I could have brought a lot to the ticket, but yeah, it's weird. We've had such a crazy week that the picking of a vice presidential candidate for the front running candidate is like the third or fourth weirdest thing that happened this week.
Yeah, I didn't want to cover more time on that than we have.
Yeah, I think we've addressed it. He's chubby. He seems funny. And right, they needed a white toast kind of guy, and they got.
I mean, I'm laughing, but yeah, a Jew was. It's not the right time for a Jew VP.
Oh, that's yeah. I mean, I also came to the realization for like this week, the knives came out for Pennsylvania's governor. Like the left said, we don't want him. That's fair, but I do wonder. I want to put this question to you. I had this thought. What party do you think will field the first Jewish president? Because I thought it was always going to be a layup that it was going to be a Democratic Party that puts a Jewish guy up as the first president. Now I think it might be the Republican Party, because while the Republican Party has a lot of the tiki torch, Jews will not replace us types, I think that the left, what they did to Shapiro is kind of crazy. I don't really give a shit about him, but like, in order to be like a Jewish person that the left will vote for, you have to basically like say Israel is shit. Yeah. But if you say Israel is shit, the other like 60% of Jews that actually like love Israel won't vote for you, and they always vote Democrat. So basically you're in this situation where if you're a Jew and you don't repudiate Israel, you're a little too close. But if you do, you're going to lose the large majority of Jewish voters. So I'm thinking now, I used to think it was a layup that there would be a Jew for the Democratic Party, but now I'm not so sure.
I think we all have such short memories that after the Jews completely eradicate their enemies off the face of the earth, then someone will say something stupid and make everyone forget that the Jews did that. And then it'll be the left again. So yeah, we're talking maybe 10 years from now.
Yes, sure. I agree. I agree with that. You're right, Dave. I should never underestimate the Jews' ability to wiggle out of a scary situation.
And then the fast moving headlines. So then, so if like, say like the Jews did that 3 days ago, and then Game of Thrones came out and had an actual dragon fight in their finale, everyone be like, the fucking dragon fight made me forget about the Jews eradicating their enemies off the face of the earth.
Right.
And it'd be like, okay, we're recycled in our heads now. Jews are back. You know, like, okay.
So basically,
it's a new day.
So basically, as my uncles would say, you just need a different kind of all-powerful lizard.
Yes.
Yes. So to make people forget about the. So
exactly. All right.
So what else? There was a lot of Olympic news that we wanted to talk about.
Two pretty basic things that humanity couldn't. We'll toss it up. We'll cover one first, then the other. Do people not know what a black person is, or do people not know what a woman is?
I think we're pretty unclear on everything right now. I think the definitions of everything have been muddied in everyone's minds. Certainly conservatives. I think, we had two definitely things where people are questioning prominent women. Kamala Harris said that she went from Indian and turned black, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I like the idea that people can just suddenly turn black. I think it was one of the Daily Show writers that started that virally of like asking black people, when did you turn black? It's a fun thought experiment.
I mean, it's, you could tell when it's purely one thing people questioning a two thing person. You're a one thing person, really. I'm considered a two thing person. I'm not biracial, but I'm two different whites, which also seems to confuse a lot of people. When I go west of Philadelphia, I get a lot of, oh, your last name is Primiano, but you said you were Jewish.
Right.
I need that explained to
me. Right. The surname says Italian. The nose tells a different story, Primiano. Give it up.
No, yeah. We've covered this. They're both, but this is a little Jew hump too. But
but I mean, right. You're absolutely right. In a way, I think the extreme people would say that you have a non-white half as well. I don't think people go that far, most people, but yeah. So
they
you
take
actually,
whoever they can on their side now. But
yeah, that's true. But you, you've got you definitely have that 2 experience. Not me. I mean, I have the
yeah,
white 2-person experience where it's like I'm Irish, but I'm also Italian.
yeah.
So
So
yeah,
you just
nothing for me.
so if you're two things, it's sometimes you lean into one. Like so, like, oh, she's been in India. Yeah, well, maybe she leaned harder into being Indian. Like
Right.
sometimes, like when I'm a comedian, that's the only time I even really say I'm Jewish, just because I think it's good business. But
Sure.
there's times when I lean into like the Italian shit. So it's
Yeah.
I don't know how to. Yeah,
I don't
it's
think
not
that.
fun to be just both.
Yeah, and I think that that's just basically like conservatives being unable to put themselves in other people's shoes. Because I'm a one, yeah, I'm just white. I feel like I have no problem seeing that. Sure, right. Like, and I liked how the after that interview, the Trump interview with the black journalist, that was close to a Biden level disaster for him. Yeah, and as like a Hoffman-esque comedy setting, you can't get a better 30 minutes of comedy than watching Trump blame them for the delay, which was like very, for Trump, I gotta say, I mean, Trump, a racist, pretty shrewd move to delay your own interview for 45 minutes arguing about fact checking, then immediately come out before even anything is said, just go on the offensive, blaming them for running on like CP time. And it's like, they didn't do that. They were on time. Like, they are professional journalists. Everything was good to go. And then he was like, you didn't run it out. You did it wrong. And it's like, they didn't even go, no, sir, you're wrong. You did it. They were like, let's just start the interview. I was like, Trump has that cunning genius where he's like, I know, I'm just going to go out and immediately make something up that's slightly racial, and they'll just have to let it slide. And they did.
Was the crowd his people, or was it all black people in the crowd? Because I didn't see it, but it sounded moderately amused.
It was he had like a couple of dozen of his supporters in the back, but it was an organization for black journalists. So everyone in that audience, short of the like couple dozen people that he had, were all just black journalists. So yeah, I think in the beginning it was like, it's hard to tell the cheers from the laughter, but like towards the end, it's like, you can't not hear, like, he's bombing. Like, he's bombing. Like, people are yelling. Like, the audience has no mics pointed in the direction, but you can hear individual people being like, no, like, you can't hear what they're saying, but you know, like, oh, somebody hit their limit and are now individually screaming out at him. Like, it was pretty bad.
I mean, I guess I didn't hear to the end, but I did. It sounded like there was legitimate laughter. Like, I've heard quieter rooms at comedy shows.
Yeah. I mean, of course, that's the thing that we have to be fair to Donald Trump and say he's like a born entertainer. Like, I got to admit it, as much as I hate the guy, he's entertaining as shit. I was like, my girl and I were laughing. He did this like 8 years ago, but a clip where he's like, they turned the lights off on him. And then he's like, oh, that's much better. Turn the lights off. And he starts like a chant about turning the lights off. I laugh every time I hear it. The guy's it's a shame that he's trying to, install himself as king.
All right.
The guy's hilarious.
So he loses the election. What capacity do you still want him in your day-to-day?
See, I don't want him in my day-to-day. And I think that's what's going to actually, if he loses, that's what's going to lose him the election. And that people don't want him in their lives every single day. That's his biggest weakness.
Now he needs a podcast. I know. I don't want to create more rivalry for us. But I would at least I don't watch any fucking like even friends, whatever. I don't watch anyone's podcast. But I would definitely watch clips.
You're on the Sick Ghouls podcast that came out recently.
Did I watch it? No,
Did you watch it?
No, in fact,
no need to watch it back.
I mean, I had a fun time, but I did get a message from someone who was watching it say that I didn't even notice it, that Otis was picking his feet and it was distracting. And if I had noticed that at the time, I would have probably freaked out because I hate touching his feet.
Yeah, you're not a feet guy. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad I didn't notice that. But I had a fun time.
Well, I didn't know
would've-
because I didn't watch it.
Yet, no.
I might. I'm supposed to be on at some point, so maybe I'll watch your episode for the figure out what the hell they're doing on that thing now. Recon effort, but whatever.
You just have
That
to-
being
yeah,
said,
no one to say no. There are plenty of good female comedians.
that's exactly what I'm preparing for. I'm getting ready for that, like very genuous, like very like kind laughter where I'm like, I don't agree with anything you guys said, but I'm not going to push back on it.
Yeah,
because
get that
it's your
diplomacy in your
podcast.
voice.
Yeah,
Where it's like, he's saying the things, but does he believe it? Does he not? We'll never
Right.
know. It's just smart move on his part.
right. Plausible deniability. So when that's rolled against me later, I can be like, no, look, I'm obviously uncomfortable. But just enough. So yeah, anyway, I'm glad that went well for you, Dave, and that you didn't get canceled on the Sick Ghouls. But yeah, if Trump started a podcast, I bet you it would be something like their podcast, where he would still always be in the news because people would be having to apologize for shit that they said or they made him say. And so I just think he would never apologize, but other people that went on would.
Would you think he'd have guests, or it would just be him talking for an hour straight?
Oh, yeah, really, he probably would just be him. But in my mind, he has guests. In my mind, it's like a Tonight Show situation. He's got a desk. People come over and sit on a couch, you know.
Well, now I want him to lose.
I think, listen, you unfortunately can't deny this guy's bona fides as an entertainer. He's way more entertaining than other politicians, but yeah,
and most
losing.
Entertainers.
Yeah. Well, because he's not worried about. There's a freedom that he has that I wish that I had in comedy, where he doesn't need anybody, so he will say anything he wants about anyone. Like if Donald Trump was running a comedy podcast, let's just say that diplomatic speech about Joe Rogan at the top would not have been said. It would have been, well, he probably would have liked Joe, but he would have given his honest opinion about the special.
Yeah, he's got pure reputation to it's. I don't know what like. I have to be a certain way until I'm unburdened. I'm burdened by myself. Like he's unburdened by himself or whatever.
Yeah, in a way. And also he's kind of like a prisoner of himself. But yeah, I feel like in that way, you're right. He's gotten to that point where he has like, people talk about like, fuck you money, like whatever your number is, wherever you get to the point, people go, and then I tell everyone, fuck you. But really you wouldn't.
Yeah.
You'd get all that money and you still have to live in society and you'd still act polite to people. Not this motherfucker. He hit his fuck you money number at some point and he just said fuck you to everybody.
Well, yeah, well, my fuck you money, I don't know what your amount is.
It's low.
There's two different kinds, like fuck you money where I just disappear from everybody's life off the face. Like I'm like, that's the amount I need, or fuck you money where I can be a piece of shit to people. I think those are two different.
I agree.
Two different numbers.
Yeah, I agree. Fuck you money in the way of like, no one can tell you what to do. And like, you can just live your life on your own terms. Yeah, that number is much more lower than fuck you money of like, I'll spit in your face. What are you going to do? Sue me? You know, like I got enough money to cover that.
Oh no, I think my fuck off from the face of the earth is higher than my be a piece of shit to people.
Oh really? No, for me it's different. It's
if you put 10 million in my account, nobody would ever hear. Like I wouldn't try to insert myself in society again. I'd be like, all right, that's good enough. Everybody else have at it. I have no more greed left in me. Yeah. Which is probably lower than a lot of other people's fuck off money. My fuck you money is probably like $30,000.
See, I'm the opposite. If you give me like a couple $1 million, I'll fuck off to some beach somewhere. I'll be in Costa Rica. You'll never see me again. I don't give a shit. I don't need much. But if like my fuck you money, that's got to be like $50 million. You give me $50 million and I'm going to try and own the state of one of the Dakotas. It can't be that expensive to bribe everyone in North Dakota.
Yeah, 30,000.
Yeah. Right. I need the state where you are because I can bribe you for 30 grand and I can bribe a lot of people like you.
I'm going to live on fucking Mount Rushmore's head.
Yeah, Yeah, I'll just carve out apartments inside Lincoln, and you can live there. I would be dangerous.
Yeah.
I would be like Elon, as much as I hate to admit it. Like, I look at that guy and I'm like, what a fucking idiot. And I'm like, I wouldn't do the same things he did, but I would probably do my own version of like dumb, like, I can buy this and everyone will have to listen to me.
Yeah, but he's not doing anything cool with it. He's kind of running it into the ground, making it a fucking, a porn comment every fucking 5 seconds. And he could have just put his shitty opinions on there beforehand. Now it's just a sounding board.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
His fuck you money is just making him sit at home and say dumb shit while he's shitting.
Although I will give him credit too. I'm feeling very gracious today. Much like Joe Rogan, I think that Elon Musk is an inspiration in the way that it's like, you'll never have as much money as Elon. None of us will. But you can have a friend. Like, a friend is a very easily accomplishable thing for most people, but is very clearly out of Elon Musk's grasp. Like, a true friend is just not something he can get. That's why he spends all day, retweeting people that are like, Michelle Obama's got a dick. And he goes, and he just retweets it like, interesting. Like,
yeah.
No, not really.
No, there's people that want to be his friends, and he takes advantage of that by charging them $8 a month.
Yeah, right. They're sycophants and he's a grifter. It's not a true friendship situation, but
I know. It used to be an honor if I could have more followers than a blue check mark. Now it's now it's common stance.
Yeah, blue check mark has been as a status symbol has been removed. In that case, it's not really a democratization. You have to buy it,
and they just replaced it with a different color. So now the official people are just a yellow check mark.
Right. Exactly. And you can't refuse the yellow check mark, which is really funny. Like, they give it to you, and if you're like, no, I don't want this, you're like, no, you have it. So it's almost like it became even more of a status symbol, because like before you could not have a blue check mark. Plenty of celebrities didn't. They didn't care enough. Now, like Stephen King tried to give his blue check mark away, and Elon was like, no, you're a celebrity. So yeah.
And then he wrote a book about a blue check mark that followed him around everywhere he went.
And tweeted the life out of him. But yeah, the core premise, we've been having a good time talking. But the core premise of this episode,
sorry,
as you said, is that's okay. That's a good segue in. We're tired of how dumb people are, right? These people are just fucking dumb. They don't know the difference between a black woman or they don't understand that someone could be black and Indian at the same time. And like you were saying, they don't even understand like what a woman is anymore. Like, that people are fighting the Algerian boxer, right? Imre, whatever her name is.
Amira, I got to use it in one of my jokes later, and I don't know how to say it.
I've just been like boomering out in my head and calling her Amira Khalifa, even though I know her last name isn't Khalifa.
Well, there's no A at the end. Khalifa is not the thing I'm confused. Amira or Amir.
I thought it was Imre. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Fuck it. It's a woman.
Well, it is. I mean, she is a woman. She has the female chromosome, right?
No, she's got the male. She's got an XY chromosome, but that's from like a thing. Sorry.
Yes, there's our biological experts.
So she's got it. It's the syndrome. It's like Dwyer's syndrome or something like that. So it gives her more testosterone than a woman should have.
Right.
But
she's still a woman.
She's got a fucking uterus.
Yep.
That's good enough for me, right?
Yep.
She can get pregnant. I believe.
I think so. Sure. Why not? I feel like this is like they wanted her to be trans so bad. And then
they would have had a controversy on their hands because that needs to be discussed.
Right. And I think with like, I don't give a shit about any of that discourse, but I think they would honestly, like, with the difference between the physicality of her and these other boxers, they would have at least a compelling argument to people that buy into that shit. But no, she's just big. She's just a big muscular woman, and there's nothing you can do about it. I think that there you go. Yeah, hell yeah. I think that if you take her off, you have to take off other freaks of nature like Wembayama, right? Like if you look at Imra or whatever and you go, because of her body and because of like the syndrome that she has an unfair advantage. There's no way you can look over at the fucking Slender Man and go, oh, but that's a normal body. That's not a guy with a disorder. He can compete. Like
sports are 90% physical advantage, 10% hard work.
Right, exactly.
Or whatever.
Right.
People
if you have that fast twitch muscle fiber, if you have more of that than the next guy, you're going to be a better athlete than him almost 99% of the time. There aren't many Jamie Moyers in sports anymore.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, really? During the Phillies World Series run, we had a pitcher who was 45 years old, and he was just like very good at knowing what pitch to throw. And so he would keep you off balance mentally, but he didn't have any stuff. Like he couldn't throw a fastball. His like fastest pitch was like 85 miles an hour, but he actually could win games because he just had been in the league for so long. He could look at you and be like, that guy's going to think I'm going to throw this, but I'm going to throw that. But those guys can't really, if you have that and the physicality, you'll be an all pro. But like most guys don't have that. They're pretty dumb. They just were born.
Whoa. Let's
in
not
hockey. I'm talking about
hockey. Okay, only hockey players are dumb.
I'm talking about hockey, Dave. Calm down. We're talking about hockey.
You want to go into that athletic play versus that smart play or whatever.
Oh yeah, right. The firecracker.
Bill Burr bit.
Yeah. I love that's a great joke. Very true. Or I think the League, the show did one of those too, where it was like every time there's a black player or black coach, he's a class act. It's like, yeah, if somebody's there's not many white class acts in sports.
Exactly.
You know? Whites are lunch pail guys, so.
But everyone was crying for this Italian bitch.
Yeah.
There's like, oh, she worked her entire, she should be proud that she made it to the Olympics then, because she kind of sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way sports are. You come against someone that's bigger and stronger and you're fucked. If I shadowed LeBron James for his entire life, workout for workout, practice for practice, diet for diet, I would still get fucking smoked in a one-on-one game. And do I cry about it? Yes, but privately to myself.
Right. It's all part of the feelings I'm shoving down inside that will contribute to my mental break. That I've never been an athlete, but I can't control that. I feel like
Albanian. Does she just need to cry in public for people to say, nope, never mind, that's a woman? Like, if you have to pick one of two women, the one that's publicly crying is clearly, not feminine enough, not pouting.
Right. It's very strange. And I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I think it all comes down to like the Italian woman was soft. She didn't seem like a very good boxer. She had very good muscle definition. She seemed kind of small, to be honest. And I feel like she looked more feminine. And I think that's like a lot of people are like, wait a second, this other woman won, but I don't want to fuck her as much. This doesn't work. It's like, well,
I know in Italy, all you have to do to get in the fucking Olympics is beat a kid with a shoe. And
yeah, and we already have an Olympics of fucking. It's called Hollywood. You can just go, and if you're the most fuckable person, they will just give you something.
Yeah, the Italian Olympics would be amazing. Just try to
every sport is just beating a kid with a shoe. Yeah. I would watch that because I don't enjoy children. They're like I maybe like a little backstory. Like, what did this child do to deserve to get publicly beaten with a shoe? And all you need to do is see him at one restaurant.
Yeah, the art form being that if he didn't do he did something terrible, but it's in public, you have to beat him, but quietly, so no one notices.
Yeah,
an impossible feat for an Italian.
Exactly,
to be quiet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how quiet you make the kid is how you get ranked.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if you have to beat them quietly, Italy will never win shit. Italy can't. What are you doing? You're gonna get loud.
Like if you beat the kid with the shoe and then he's actually sitting at his table instead of running around the restaurant, but he's crying so it annoys the tables near him. That's not a gold medal child beating. But the one that fucking makes him sit there and stifle his cries.
Right. And it has like something for the passersby, the lookers on. some kind of shaming of the child. Yeah.
Yeah. Is Italy the best?
Sequence.
Is Italy the best country when it comes to child beating?
No way.
Oh,
Got to go to one of the Asian countries. Right?
India.
India.
They beat their kids
China.
real good over there. They beat their kids real good.
I feel like Italy,
the tiger moms, like the.
I feel like I hear that they'll like smack you in the hands with a ruler, but like as far as full on just beating a kid over a head with something,
that's true.
I feel like that's more of a Mediterranean thing.
Latina mothers have the shoe thing as well. Latina mothers famously will hit you with the shoe.
The Italian mom should be the wooden spoon, obviously.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, the shoe is like a black, like the because that's like the old, like the black moms will throw a shoe at the kid.
Right.
The Italians is with a wooden spoon. Irish is Irish belt.
Yeah.
Irish like to go to the belt.
I think they beat their kids with sheep. Yeah, right.
They just cripple them with depression generally.
Go ahead, goat. You'll go out there right now and you grab a fucking sheep. You come back in here so I can bait you with it.
Jewish grandparents are good, like with the good kick to the ass.
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah, I got a good ass kicking from the Jew grandparents.
That's good.
The Italians were dead, thank God, before I was born. I don't know what Italian grandparents beat you.
Yeah,
but
I had a Scottish grandparent, never beat me. Although I hear the Scottish are mean, but my grandma was soft.
Scottish, I feel like, are put up your dick, so that's just straight up punching.
They'll smack you, right? Yeah, they'll smack you right across the face.
So I did a little Google search, and January 2019, there was a little bit of a ranking system based on the area where I know that's there you go. Oh. He's fucking dude. He's so hard right now. Okay. And yeah, so the United Kingdom was one of the safest places for children. This is
unless they're Muslim.
The UK is very safe for the children so long as they don't listen to Taylor Swift. I think.
How crazy is it of a week that there's a fucking race war going on in London? And I was just like, I feel like talking about the boxer.
It didn't even make the list. We don't even have it on our list. The race riots in the UK. They'll be going on next week. We'll circle back to them. We have to prioritize. Shit's been going so fast for the past month. We have to push things off to new weeks. So yeah, we'll talk about all the chavs next week.
Yeah, Italy was ranked. What is that like from the top? So it's you got a 69.7 in terms of safety out of 100.
So 31 kids out of 100 get beaten.
This is also
not enough.
Not enough, baby. This is also child abuse and like child safety overall.
Oh.
Okay, I don't.
They're not going to put
more than enough. I take it back.
Yeah,
that's too many.
Child abuse is if they don't give you a reason, and they always give you a reason.
Yeah, you don't want to be hitting well-behaved kids.
Is there like a Ouchy scale, like where there's a number on an Ouchy scale where like. Anything below a certain number is punishment, and anything above that number is child abuse.
Yeah.
Okay. Pakistan, Egypt, Mozambique.
Yeah, you can see below 50% is the UA.
Well, now it feels like we've tread into uncomfortable to talk about territory.
I was going to say, I think out of that list on the bottom, Russian is the only character you and I could impersonate. I feel like we can't do any of those other voices on the lower half of that scale.
Yeah,
I know. I did clicks on this show once, and I got yelled at by a myriad of people.
Oh yeah. I remember this. I remember those clicks. That was very bad.
That was our first. I think that was our first incident where we were like, "Oh, we did it on a live podcast. We did something we probably shouldn't have done."
If you guys didn't yell at me, I wouldn't have known I did anything wrong, and I would make it a weekly fixture.
Well,
but
that's the only reason I yelled at you. So,
I love you.
Not that I didn't think it was funny.
Well, what do Russians beat their kids? Or they just, you're going to sit here and drink this entire bottle of vodka. And then they beat the kid with the empty bottle of vodka.
That's just breakfast. Yeah. If they beat him with the bottle, it's breakfast is the bottle.
If you beat it with a full bottle, that's child abuse. If you beat him with an empty bottle, that's just discipline.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up in church.
I know the Ouchy scale. I know. Is Neil writing down Ouchy scale? Okay.
Ouchy scale.
Speaking of something that ranks high on the Ouchy scale, though, clipping your penis on a bar 15 feet in the air.
Okay, we talked about the pain level before you signed into the chat. I think when your hog is that fucking big, it hurts the pole more than it hurts you.
Okay, yeah, I respect that. It was a pretty impressive.
That
French
dude is
hog.
packing. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a French guy.
Yeah, it was a French guy. So I
That's
believe it or not, I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard that before. The French guys have big dicks, but I don't think French guys really have, other than surrendering, have much of a cultural stereotype. Like
rapists, they smell bad.
Yeah, okay, that's just Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah.
Those two facts are just Pepe.
Skunks aren't an exclusively French animal. That's why they fucking made it. No, that's the
okay.
It's clearly Looney Tunes wasn't fucking around with their racism back.
That is true.
Day.
That is true. I will give it to you. Every Looney Tunes character is very racist towards somebody. Yeah.
But I think he nailed it with the French. But I don't.
Yeah. Well, listen, this guy.
I never heard the big dicks thing though.
No, I don't know. Maybe I am imagining that. I mean, they're like, the lovers, right? The lovers of Europe. So you figure maybe it goes with that. But yeah, this guy's going to make that a stereotype. Then, if you don't know, watching at home, watch the. I think it's the high jump.
Do you want me to pull it up? Yeah,
please.
Here it is.
Oh, I want you to pull it out.
Lord.
It's that he's got that's my piece. That's like I would 100% have done this. Good for him for staying casual and loose. Mine would have shriveled up probably in the cold of that room. But he stayed mash cash.
Yeah, I had a physical recently and I couldn't keep it that chub. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that deserves a fucking platinum medal. Like they need to bring in a medal. Look, because this guy won the Olympics, even if he didn't fucking place.
If he had gotten a medal, we know exactly where they could hang it.
It's true.
We cannot give it to him because his pole did not vote the poll. We cannot do it.
Right. As you said, Dave, I think when we were texting, like this guy didn't win a medal, but he won the entire Olympics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like if I were that guy and me instead of him, my comedy would just be about comical ways of me failing at something because my dick gets in the way.
Yeah.
Like a weekly, yeah.
Yeah. He could become a spokesman for like Magnum condoms or something like that. Like he's got a bright future ahead of him, this guy.
No woman that fucks an Olympian's gonna have him use a condom. That is the ultimate stock right there in man.
Yeah, that's true. He is he's got a very fun 20 years ahead of him. He's going to do very well for himself. And he can just be like very casually like, do you know I was in the Olympics? And then he can just show him that picture and be like, oh. Pretty good. That's what he do.
Oh, yes. Okay, we're going to assume that's what he sounds like.
Yeah.
And also that he smells and he's a rapist.
Of course. Yeah. These things are not up for debate, right? I was saying it was Pepe, but I didn't say you were wrong. All right. You're right. They all stink. He's trying to force himself on a different species that sort of looks like him. This is what the French do.
This isn't the first time it's happened. So back in 2016, I think there was a Japanese. Japan.
Whoa! Okay,
check this one out.
That was a prosthetic.
Yeah, look at this. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Look at this piece.
Whoa!
That's big.
Bang. It doesn't look that.
I mean, hey, good for him for it. Still hit.
It looks sturdy.
If it's going sideways, it could have a lot of leg to it. But if it's just if that's all there is, that guy's got something interesting going.
He definitely does.
I mean, when you pause it like that, it looks like he's just suspended in air.
He does. It looks like he's draping it on someone's forehead, but it's the bar.
No, that looks more like stance. That looks more like one of those short, girthy ones that, like, you can knock someone out with it, but no one's lining up for it.
And the Japanese, not known for giant hogs. No offense to the great people of Japan. I'm just saying, culturally, stereotypically, not known as a well-endowed people.
Based on that Looney Tunes character. Hero Shorty or fucking
yeah. When it comes to Asian people, you do not want to be citing Looney Tunes. That was a much more permissive time about how they would speak about Anyone from Asia?
You're a shorty or fucking whatever. What animal? What animal would you make a duck? I feel no, that'd be Chinese, like a Peking duck or whatever.
But that would be Daffy, and Daffy was black. So
okay? I mean, Daffy, his physical color was black, but was Daffy
also it should
supposed to be a black caricature character?
Right.
I don't know. It's a good question. Bugs Bunny was Jewish, right?
I mean,
obviously.
If Elmer Fudd was a cop, then maybe.
But Elmer Fudd's a redneck, so that's kind of, and he hates Bugs, who's a Jew, and he hates Daffy.
Was Bugs a Jew?
Oh yeah, hell yeah! Listen to him speak. I don't mean to say. Look, I'm gonna take that back. But like, he was a Jewish. Bugs Bunny was Jewish. He was based off of Mel Blanc, right? And
I love that's the line on this podcast.
What's up?
I won't listen. I'm sorry I said that. That's the thing.
I don't want to come out against Bugs Bunny.
Dave was gonna have an NPR segment where he just did clicks like welcome back to the Weekday Comics with Dave Primiano. We're gonna listen to 2 minutes of solid clicks of me doing it.
I will not besmirch Bugs or Lola Bunny. I won't do it.
Well, Lola Bunny. I don't know.
What do you have to say about Lola?
I mean, I think Lola's mid-transition. I think that. I mean, if you saw from the first Space Jam to the second Space Jam, and also the fact that her name is Lola.
That's true.
Based off the famous
I will give
song.
you that.
Okay, so that
I will give you that.
that base.
If you look at both Space Jams, Lola is clearly on some sort of testosterone supplement of some kind.
The joke I made at the time when that movie came out was that they made Lola so unfuckable that Pepe Le Pew killed himself. Because that's right around the time they killed off Pepe.
That's right.
Oh my God, Lola, you're not taking steroid pellets, are you?
Yeah. Yeah, Pepe Le Pew took one look at Lola and then fucking hung himself.
Damn. That's rough.
How do we go? Is that why? Is that okay? So if Bugs is Jewish and Daffy's black, is that why sometimes they're enemies, but sometimes they're allies too? Like they have a lot in common. They're both being chased after by the guy with the gun. And but the second
they work against the redneck.
Yeah, right. The redneck is trying to oppress them.
And then they turn on each other.
Right? And Bugs is always kind of getting the better of Daffy. He's kind of like outsmarting him all the time.
Because of the writers.
Yeah, of course. That's what. Hey, listen, I'm just saying what happens. Like every time Daffy made a hit music record, Bugs Bunny owned all the rights. That's something that is a contention between them.
So who does Bugs Bunny have to bomb before people start saying, you know what, maybe Daffy wasn't completely out there?
I don't know. I need to know if
does he bomb Tasmania? Yeah, does he bomb Tasmania? Does he bomb Mars? Who exactly Mars represents?
Hey, listen. Bugs Bunny has every right to defend himself against the aggression from Mars, okay? Mars is shooting laser beams at Bugs Bunny day in and day out, and he's just expected to take it? No.
That's it. Okay, wait, so Mars controls the space lasers.
Yeah, 100%. Not Jewish in the Bugs Bunny world, in the Looney Tunes universe.
Yeah, and they're enemies with bugs. You know, I don't think this Jewish thing holds up as well.
Yeah,
as,
maybe you're not. Maybe I'm being a little prejudicial. But I will say this. You mentioned guys that look like Elmer Fudd and people who you think are on your side, but are quite often not on your side, which is a great segue to another guy we wanted to talk about this week, Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh, man, I forgot about him.
Right? Exactly. Kyle Rittenhouse did the fastest 360-degree turn spin that you could have ever seen when he came out against Donald Trump, defending, of course, none other than his right to bear arms, that Donald Trump wasn't going to do a good enough job. And within, would you say 24 hours, or do you think it happened faster than that?
He walked it back in 12 hours.
Yeah, within 12 hours, he was back on the Trump train. It was crazy. It was crazy how fast they turned on him and how fast he turned on himself.
Oh, man, they accused him of being trans, too.
Yeah,
He cried in public. That's just my thing. But they showed some pictures. I don't know if those pictures were edited. That showed him having somewhat delicate features.
I'll tell you what, somebody that doesn't like Kyle Rittenhouse has been doing a genius thing where he keeps photoshopping Kyle to look like this like cartoonishly piggish freak person with like rosy cheeks, and it's
okay.
Yeah, it does. It looks Elmer Fudd-ish, and it's just weird enough that when you see it, and because you haven't seen Kyle Rittenhouse in years, you go, "Is that what he looks like now?" And it's like,
well, yeah.
And he's done it subtly enough that now, if you just Google Kyle Rittenhouse, these pictures will show up with no critical disclaimer that it's like AI or not AI, it's a Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will say this guy's got a lot of roly-poly pictures out there, and it's hard to tell which ones are true and which ones are Photoshop. But I'll tell you what, don't cross the Republican Party because they'll make you turn in 12 hours. That was like the quickest I've ever seen like a leash pulled on something.
I know. He was he became a murderer in their eyes. Which, as I've said before, he was about 5 seconds away from being a murderer. Like he lucked into self-defense. You don't drive 20 minutes with a fucking AK if you're not expecting to fire it off. That's all they had to do was wait. He would have started shooting him eventually.
Yeah, right. And he fell into that loophole of like you can go looking for a fight, and the person that you don't necessarily have to be the guy.
I said if you drive 5 minutes with a rifle, maybe you're just walking around with it doing a patrol. You drive 20, you're fucking committed to it. You're shooting someone.
Yeah, you're gonna shoot somebody. But yeah, you would think with this incident that Kyle Rittenhouse would have just had better trigger discipline on his political messaging.
That's right.
Think he would have been able to shoot a little straighter. But there we go. I think it's time for the news, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there. You guys want to bet?
Yeah, let's roll
in. Let's roll in.
Yeah, there's like 8 different times where I was just about to launch into one of these fucking jokes in conversation. Like, let's bail now, and let's just get to the fucking jokes.
All right, here we go. I'm sorry if I'm overproducing, Neil. I have a little cool. I get to see how far we are in the episode now, so I know where we are. Can actually do a little judgment here. Okay, hey, we're in the news portion of the show, as our viewers at home very well know. I don't know the news stories that Dave has written about this week. He's done 12 jokes. I've done 12 jokes. He doesn't know the 12 jokes I've done. If Dave and I do a joke on the same premise, we're going to have a joke off. Joking each other off. I'm going to do the thing that Tony Hinchcliffe does now during the joke off. This thing that he does. We do a joke off, and the joke off will not be judged really here. To be judged by you, the viewers at home. Comment.
We got people in the comment. We have a comment.
And it's not my mom because she can't actually watch the show while I'm streaming.
LOL. Hey, Holly Huff, very funny comic. I
put intersex. We have no idea why.
Probably she probably said
about that's what that boxer was. Although I think she's just a fucking woman.
Just
right?
a woman.
Yeah.
I'm confused on what intersex. I'm gonna do more research. Thank you, Holly.
I think Holly's trying to help us because Dave and I were very ignorantly discussing that subject. But I'll say that's how we discuss basically all the subjects we approach.
Bitches with uteri.
Yeah. This ignorance was more of an all-encompassing general ignorance than any sort of malicious directed ignorance. Thank you for understanding that, Holly. And now that we're in the news section, I think I explained it. Fuck it. You'll figure out how it works.
Yeah.
Dave, go first.
Sure. R. Kelly. Fuck it. Let's start over. let me lick the lips for that'll bring in some views too.
Title of the episode right there.
Delicious. R. Kelly petitions U.S. Supreme Court to overturn sex crime convictions based on statute of limitations. Kelly hopes that, like him, the Supreme Court also loses interest after things have hit a certain age.
Nice.
Like that.
Yeah.
In a meeting with Donald Trump, J.D. Vance told his son to, quote, shut the hell up about Pokemon, end quote. But Vance claims he only said that because Trump looks at Vance's children like Pokemon. Strange Asian animals who should be forced to fight each other.
I'm gonna start judging these, dude. I think Dan's gonna own this whole fucking joke segment, dude. Dave was saying bullshit. I just let everybody know. Dave was like, I don't like my jokes this week. Didn't you say that?
I mean, what happens off camera never happens.
Yeah,
it's not. Well, it's only a competition if we dared stumble on the same premise. So my jokes aren't that good this week.
The second this fucking record hits, I'm not a person anymore. I'm
and
product.
Dave,
You're talking to Dave. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Dave. There's a 50-50 shot. I'm not even listening to the joke. So if there's a joke off, I might even lose that just on my own recognizance.
All right, yes. Dave. All right. North and South Korean athletes share an Olympic podium and take a selfie. It's such an iconic picture that North Korea has even decided that they're going to display it on all the sides of their milk cartons. I fucked that up, but I got the basic point.
I got it. I understood. That's all right. Vice presidential candidate Tim Walz criticized over past DUI arrest. Walz is unconcerned because as the governor of Minnesota, he understands it's impossible to be sober and watch the Vikings play.
So relatable.
Thank you.
The DUI. No. I meant the DUI.
Yeah, he had the DUI that came out today, and I was like, he's going to speak in Philadelphia. He'll be fine.
Right. All right, here's my dumb one for one of my dumb ones for the week. South Carolina Supreme Court rules state death penalty, including firing squad and electric chair, is legal. All they ask is that when you're shooting, you try not to hit the chair.
I like it.
I think it's like a cute little visual. They're electrocuting the guy and shooting him. It's fun. Yeah. It's a lot of murder. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Republic. Okay. All right. We okay? We good? All right. Republicans worry Trump is having a public nervous breakdown following disastrous appearances last week, though his supporters insist that there's nothing wrong with the deeply American tradition of constantly jerking off to ghosts.
All right.
He's always jerking off to ghosts. I don't know why.
Hey, ghosts need loving too. Tesla car that killed Seattle motorcyclist was in full self-driving mode, police say. But don't let this distract you from all the bad things Elon Musk is responsible for too.
That's good. I got a couple of Elon ones too, but not on that story. Okay.
Fair.
Elon Musk will interview Trump on Monday night, Trump's campaign says. Trump is hoping for a campaign reset with a sympathetic interviewer who understands the massive paperwork involved every time you impregnate a poor woman.
All right.
Poor women. I don't know.
Good on them.
Another way that if I had fuck off money, I would have like dozens. I mean, and I didn't have my girlfriend. I would have dozens of illegitimate children with the fours.
No, I don't want. I'd have burner cars so I could rear tap people in traffic a lot. But... All right. Here's one that'll. Speaking of car accidents, United Auto Workers endorse Harris for president. And this alone should put any rest to any rumors that she is a 100% Asian woman. I won't be clipping that one.
No, that one will just keep buried deep in the episode, only to be found if you get an SNL offer. All right. Trump says he has no choice but to support electric vehicles after Elon Musk's endorsement, noting that his campaign is a lot like a Cybertruck. It's hard to stop at full speed. It looks like it could fall apart at any moment, and both involve stories of men sticking their fingers in places they don't belong.
All right.
Not all of my jokes are winners this week. You know?
That happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I'm sorry I said anything.
That's
yeah.
me.
Donald Trump falsely suggests Kamala Harris happened to turn black. For more information on the vice president's ability to switch from one race to the other, you can read about it in the book Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, It's the Police.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I like it. Donald Trump says Joe Biden is not too old to be president. When asked to return the compliment, Joe Biden said, "Hey, listen, Jack, he's not too old. I think he's the only guy who can play the Wolverine." He doesn't know who Trump is. Look, they're not old. I want to get in my Biden shit while he's still alive. You understand? We have a few weeks
you missed
to make fun of Joe Biden.
You've been falling for the weekend at Biden's routine. That's fine. NFL moving closer to replacing chain gang with new technology. To those worried this will drag down the entertainment factor in the game, the NFL came out and said, "Don't worry, we just mean the guys who measure first downs. We'll still employ plenty of convicted felons."
Disneyland's unions agree to historic 31% pay raise. And Disney announced the addition of a new ride, Affordable Living Space Mountain.
All right, here's where I get to fuck up these names.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, did we come to Amane?
I was actually going to play it on the thing. Yeah, go with that. That sounds great.
Sure. Italian boxer Angela Carini wants to apologize to Algeria's Amane Khalif. She said it was all a misunderstanding and that when she said she was punched by a man, she was just talking about everyday life in Italy.
That one you can clip because you can say anything you want about the Italians.
They're yeah.
Yeah. All right. Louisiana becomes first state to legalize surgical castration of child rapists, sending a strong message. If you rape kids in Louisiana, you're going to lose your balls and maybe gain our vote.
That's probably about someone specific, right? Oh, Roy Moore, is that his name?
No, the presidential candidate. Well, yeah, also Roy Moore, but the presidential candidate that went to Jeffrey Epstein's private island for 4 documented massages.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We don't talk about, but really the Epstein for fucking kids, that really doesn't come up that much in the campaign.
I'm not anyone's biographer. I don't know their fucking I don't know their land of origin. Okay. Here's what we were just talking about, which is why I wanted to rush to the news so I didn't blurt this one out early. Kyle Rittenhouse walks back comments on Trump, says he's voting for former president. Making it the second time Kyle's reaction to getting attacked by a mob was setting his sights on a probable pedophile.
Good one. Good.
Thank you. Thank you.
There, you said they were all bad. You lied.
I mean, I know my game.
Yeah, right.
I was aware of my game, or whatever the Shaq meme says.
I got you here. Okay, here we go. Playing that one for you. Mother finds human blood in Burger King meal after daughter takes bite. Burger King says this is just the start of their exciting new special offer, the Quarter Pounder with HIVs.
Love a good rhyme. All right. Here's one this is just from a cynical place or whatever. Scholar who has correctly predicted nearly every presidential election since 1984 explains which party he thinks will win. Which is why he makes the big bucks, despite the fact that the only thing needed to do his job is one coin.
Yeah.
It's not that impressive to me. That's guessing right 9 times.
Yeah, that's Alan Lichtman. That's the guy's name. I actually bought into his bullshit at first, and then he was like, if Joe Biden drops out, the Democrats are guaranteed to lose the election by my 18 keys or whatever of the election. And then Biden dropped out. And then like 2 weeks later, he was like, but maybe Kamala's different. And it's like, no, you just spent 3 weeks saying if Biden dropped out, the Trump's going to win for sure. You can't go back now. Anyway.
I could use the fucking 2 pictures and a dart and fucking do what he does.
Who the fuck knows? It's a toss-up. We're in a statistical tie right now. All right. Justin Timberlake's license is suspended at DWI hearing. Now, if the guy from NSYNC wants to get around at night, he's going to have to become something of a Backstreet Boy.
That's actually good. That's actually really funny.
Thank you.
It took me. I was like, oh, great. I'm going to have to fucking conjure up some lyric and pretend like. So I was ready. I was ready for a fake laugh and then explained it. I didn't understand it. Oh, fuck. That's really clever. And probably didn't give it the immediate reaction it deserves.
That's okay. That's like all my comedy with every audience. So I'm used to it.
You're just born in the wrong timeline.
Yeah.
All right. Park Fire grows to more than 400,000 acres, now fourth largest in California history, which is embarrassing that in a span of a week, committing arson and shooting guns are two things America can't finish in the top 3 in.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
For real.
10 victims recovered in human trafficking sting at San Diego Comic-Con. The police say detectives were not needed for this case, as patrol officers could easily root out the only 14 men at Comic-Con who looked like they'd had sex.
I can't use that one.
And we can say that. Look at us.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I actually went to a Comic-Con. No, I went to worse. I went to a World of Warcraft con. Technically, I was paid to be there. I never played World of Warcraft. I was paid to be there, but I did enjoy it.
And I've even had sex once.
Ooh, brag.
Humble brag. No. All right. Last one. This is one I was way too lazy to replace late in the game. Zac Efron reportedly found in pool, taken to hospital on Spanish vacation. He was saved by a team of doctors that agreed that the Baywatch movie wasn't big enough to make this an ironically funny death. He don't got that Paul Walker franchisee fucking hilarity death.
No, he does not.
No.
All right, for my last one. Pakistani national charged with alleged plot to assassinate Donald Trump. Forcing liberals to finally agree with the former president that these countries are just not sending over their best.
Very good. Very good. That's the news.
That's it. That's the news. That's the episode. We did it. We did it remotely, and we did it with 18 billion VIPs crawling not 8 blocks away from, well, you and Neil. I didn't even dare venture into the city. Guys, let's tell them what we got going on. Dave, what are you doing this week?
Well, hey, I was trying to look up the place in the phone real quick because so let's see. Oh, okay. That show with the place that I forgot what name it was because it changed name. That's next Saturday. I'll be it's with Chica Locas there, a friend of the show, and Coleman Green's headlining. I want to say Ronnie's, RONI. Is that Roni's or Ronnie's?
I would have said Roni.
Okay, Roni's. It's now called Roni's. It's a fun room. It used to be the Uno. Now it's Roni's. Yeah, that's good enough for today.
That sounds right. Yeah. Okay, very cool. I've got this is the pass off between you and me is probably where we should mention that we sell merch. We have merch. We have a whole store. Yeah, you can buy whatever you want. We're usually not spending a lot of times detailing our tours and our tour dates. So yeah, buy some merch for us, and we'll keep talking about it until you do. What am I doing this weekend? Nothing. In fact, I've got nothing scheduled. Maybe I'll pick something up. I don't know. However, next week I'll plug it. I am at La Cava Coffee in Westchester. I am doing a Fenris show. Fenris, friend of the show, one of our first guests. I'll be there. Very funny. I believe Dana Charatonchik, friend of the show, will be there. I'm trying to think. Maureen Ferguson, very funny comic, will be there. A few other very funny people. So you should come out. That'll be next Friday, a week from this Friday, the 16th, in Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Oh, and look for us on Cult of Us soon. Don't forget Cult of Us appearance coming up. If you were here, we would have done it today, but we'll postpone.
Yeah. We're gonna have a Cult of Us appearance coming up. That'll be fun. Oof. The hell was that? Anyway, that was
my
Neil.
mouth closed because I'm polite.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Anyway, that's what I have going on this week. Neil, what do you have going on?
You can check me out over at I am Neil Wood on all social media and everything like that. If you'd like to check out more from these guys, again, you can get to the merch store over at droptent.com/store and go over and check out their stuff. And you can check out all the other podcasts on the network as well. There's a great bunch of Philadelphia comics and creatives on there. So check that out. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube for these guys. All right. And of course, iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff. Give them a little love. It does help us grow. So I appreciate it. And yeah, you can check me out this Friday. I'll be at Next in Line Comedy doing a roast of comedian, very funny, Marcus LeVar. And there's a bunch of roast battles there. And then we've got shows coming up that I need to book most of you guys on as well. So they'll be the end of the month. We'll be at Myers Brewing Company. And you can check us out over at Rosie's Taco Bar on the 29th and in September as well. So yeah, go over to droptent.com and just check out the newsletter. We'll send you over a little message.
Thanks, venues. Yeah, I tested them each out myself.
Yes.
Yeah, got to get over there as an audience member.
Yeah, both of those venues are very fun. Dave and I have done them, most of them together, because Neil books us as a package deal. So that's actually a good thing if you go to see a Myers Brewing Company or I'm almost saying Ronies. What the fuck is the Ron's?
Go to Ronies. Go to Ronies, bronies.
Go to Ronies.
Bro, you gotta go to Ronies,
bro. Be my bronies. Come to Ronies.
Jesus. Yeah.
Whatever the fuck.
Well, now I know I'm opening and turning off the audience immediately. Be your brosies. Anyway.
I hate this. Okay.
Anyway, that's it for us. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See you.
Well, there we go. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh, man, that was we fucking landed that like Kerry Strug should have.
Hey, how you doing? This is Neil Wood, one of the co-owners of Drop 10 Media Network and who helps run Biggest Little Comedy. You can check out all the other stuff we do at droptent.com. We've got podcasts, live comedy shows, and so much more. Go over there, support your favorite podcasts, follow them, subscribe. We appreciate it. Again, we're 100% DIY, just a bunch of creatives trying to make it in this, and give us some feedback. We always enjoy a little feedback. Thanks.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.